Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Crossing the Streams. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, aka Chronic, joined today by my wonderful co-host, Andres Cabrera. Andres, thank you for being here.
Of course, thank you for having me, man.
We're talking about House of the Dragon Season 3 today. One of the big shows of the year, one of the big shows in fandom in general. I'm always excited to jump into shows. Usually we do these at the end of series. That's kind of like the best cadence to jump into this. But because the show is such a huge staple in culture, and because we also have to wait now 2 years again for the next season, I think it's a good time to go over it and maybe brush up a little bit and debrief on what the season gave to us. So I'm going to just jump right into our guest intros today. Up top, far left, we have Manic Meeks from her channel, Manic Meeks. Meeks, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's going to be a blast. I love the show so much. And so I'm ready to nerd out.
Same. And in the middle here, we have Maple and Arianna from Die Jesus. Thank you both for being here.
Yeah, hi guys.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
Happy to have you both back. And on the far right, my good friend Imon Snow, with her reactions still going on for House of the Dragon. Imon, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And last but certainly not least, one of the veterans of the space from the OG Game of Thrones days, Larissa from her channel, Larissa Z-Way. Larissa, thank you for being here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Some of you are returning from some of our other shows. Larissa, you're on a Stranger Things discussion. I'm on, you're on our Pluribus discussion. You know how this goes, but we're going to talk about all things House of the Dragon today. First up, I want to get a little warm up here, just talking about what you thought of the show thus far. With seasons 1 and 2, what were your general thoughts getting into the show and like how it sort of played out for you and how it teed us up for season 3? Meeks, I'll start with you, just because you are a book reader, so you had some, I don't know, maybe potentially anticipation going into what the show could deliver for you, what maybe changed or diverged, how it played out for you getting into season 3. So I guess up top, on those first 2 seasons, what were your general thoughts on the show, how it sort of shook out for you in a post Game of Thrones world, maybe specifically?
I was very hesitant after the ending of Game of Thrones because that was hot garbage. It was hot trash. They pretty much threw in the towel because they were getting ready to do another project. And I was like, oh, okay, so y'all didn't care. Got it. So we didn't know what we were getting with this one. But season 1, I really enjoyed season 1. I was prepared for changes. Like I'm always prepared for changes, but they let us know these changes. So I'm not mad at them for giving us a heads up on them. But I really like the characters. I really like the world that they were building. Them wigs. Them wigs was the one. Season 1 wigs. I knew they didn't want to invest in nothing. Them wigs was horrible. I just remember me and my friends talking about them wigs the entire time. Like, my God, them wigs were horrible. They've gotten better, but they're still not as good as they need to be. But they were able to cover a lot of the book in that first season to set up a bunch of stuff. Like the first season had to be set up. So I wasn't mad at that. And in the second season, it was a lot more talking and maneuvering more of the pieces in the setups, which I love that. I'm nosy. I want to see how you got to where you're getting and then to see where you're going, because I like to make predictions and stuff. But in season 2, we found out that there was a split between George R.R. Martin and Condell. And so we were like, what was the problem? And then seeing the season, we saw the problem, that they were omitting characters that were very important to the narrative of the main characters that we were watching. So we were just trying to figure out like what the hell was going on. Mm-hmm. It wasn't bad. We were just confused and we were wondering, how are you going to try to salvage all of this? But that led to season 3, which they kind of sort of fixed it. But I'm just like, I was happy either way. Once we found out about that split, I was like, you know what? It's okay now. Thank you for telling me. I'm informed.
So. Good. Yes. Good to have the transparency. I will say I have such terrible wig blindness. I cannot spot like a bad wig from a good wig, like to save my life.
I used to wear them all the time. So
maybe really that one. That's okay. Yeah.
Clock the hell out of a wig.
That's hurt. That's so funny.
Yeah. So if you can discern between those two, standards, I applaud you. I just can't. It's like their hair's like that. It's fine. Maple and Arianna, similar story. I know you maybe have the most recent Game of Thrones experience, finishing on the channel a little while ago. But again, going from that into House of the Dragon, I guess what were your thoughts and feelings about the show? What it did for you?
I felt like season 1 for us, because we did go into it right after we finished Game of Thrones. So like we just got a chance to stay in the universe for a lot longer than other people did. So I think like the first season of House of Dragon, because the end of Game of Thrones was as awful as it was. I felt like a lot of the time jumping and stuff, and we were really into the first season, and then we were really enjoying ourselves. And you referred to it as, I think, even episode 1.
Yeah, I was like, this is becoming kind of like reality TV for me, but like medieval reality TV.
It's her stories are on when we were watching it.
It's like my version of watching probably like the Kardashians or something.
Yeah. And I remember like being like, okay, this compared to what we just came off of, this is amazing. Like, we're about it. And then we had a hard time the first half of season 2. And I don't know if it was just because, like
what you're mentioning,
there was just we were doing a lot of talking, not a lot of action. We pretty much really locked in the moment that Damon came out of the haunt, if you will. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, we're about to do this. And we were like, yeah. And like the way we end season 2, the season finale, we're like, oh man, I wish we were at war. Like, we were so ready for war.
I know. I just wanted more drama the whole time. I was like, when are we really gonna just like dig into all of this? Because you could feel the story get messier and messier. And like now with this season, obviously we'll get into that, but it was nice. It was refreshing after the end of Game of Thrones. Yeah. I think, like she mentioned, it's just lucky for us we didn't have to have such a big gap. Mm-hmm. So I think it doesn't feel as bad for me. Like,
right.
I think because we immediately got more after.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a big part of it is when Game of Thrones ended, like obviously there were no inklings of a follow-up series or anything for a long time. And then it also was the pandemic. So it was just a dark time. It was just a dark time post Game of Thrones for a while before there was any sort of light, down the tunnel for what we could get in the universe. Imon, similarly, you were on the Game of Thrones, kick back when it was airing. It was, again, a live experience to remember. But you were then in the Dark Ages with us as well for a while until the show House of Dragon came back, and then eventually got into it, I guess. Yeah. So what were your thoughts in that time going into the new series?
Yeah. First of all, I actually did reactions to the first and second season, but I lost the hard drive. And so I don't know where it is. So I had Erica. If people are familiar with like my old Game of Thrones reactions, I used to have friends on, and Erica was like with me with the House of the Dragon, like the first 2 seasons. So I'm like, oh shoot. So I was hesitant as well, but it was only because Game of Thrones was so well done. Like obviously the first few seasons. And it was like, how can they do this again? I don't know any of these characters. I don't know any, like most of the actors I didn't know. So I was like, how am I going to get into it? It definitely won me over. Like the first season I really enjoyed, and like Millie Alcock, I think what's her name? She was great. She was really, really great. And I think that was the first time I had ever seen her. So I was like, okay. I think though the thing, and you guys can help me with this, when Viserys talks about the Song of Ice and Fire, the end of first season, right?
I think the end of the first episode. Yeah, he mentioned
the first in the middle. He was mentioning.
Okay. Because I think once that happened, I was like, oh, Game of Thrones, we're here. This is Game of Thrones. So I felt happy about that. I really enjoyed the first 2 seasons. And I don't know. I guess the second season, it was like really hard. Like I was really rooting for Rhaenyra for a very long time. I felt like she had the rights to everything. And I think going into this with like being a mom, when Lucerys, we can talk about that, right? That's not a spoiler.
We'll talk about all spoilers here for the show and for thus far.
For this, okay.
We'll it's just no spoilers. Yeah.
I just felt like, those moments were like that moment when he dies. It's like very crazy, and it's just I want to talk about that more, but I'll wait. But
no, we're definitely going to dive into all of Rhaenyra's characterization thus far because it's such an important aspect of the story. Larissa. similarly, again, you've had such an intimate relationship with the show, Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. It's meant a lot to you. I know even with the discourse around the ending of the original series, it's something you still really love and have held on to. It's like my good friend Steven from Steven and Nikki and Steven Reacts. He says even the worst episode of Game of Thrones is better than most other TV. So it's something to hold on to to feel special about. But what was it like going from Game of Thrones into House of the Dragon, and how do those first 2 seasons shake out for you?
After Game of Thrones ended, I was just so disappointed. So I accepted, like, okay, this is it. We're not gonna get anything else. So for a few years, I just tried not to think about the end anymore. But yeah, Daenerys always was my favorite character in Game of Thrones. And then when I heard that there was going to be a show about House Targaryen, obviously I was very excited. So yeah, I when I watched season 1, I thought it was really, really strong because the time jump, I think that was really cool to see the characters younger first and see their relationship then, and then how all of that shifts later. So I really enjoyed season 1. And yeah, 2, I think season 2 was also fine, but I feel like it was more of a build-up. But when it ended, I was like, oh, was that it? But I just try to stay positive and be like, oh, this is just build-up for what's coming. So yeah, I still think it was a pretty decent season.
Yeah, it's a lot of build up, but again, like maybe it's the building blocks that we needed, because I think we all generally enjoyed this season pretty well. So we in hindsight we can appreciate the vegetables we had to eat up front, for this for the full meal. Andres, I want to hear your thoughts as well about seasons 1 and 2 getting into the show before we tee up for season 3. Just getting into it, sort of the production and discourse around just starting these spinoffs. I guess what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I was also a reader of Fire and Blood, so I had a lot of opinions, a lot of thoughts on what to expect. Obviously, Game of Thrones fan. Game of Thrones got me into the books, got a chance to read those, and then read Fire and Blood. So I was really excited to see the dance and see everything in live action and actually have it visualized and realized the way George R. R. Martin envisioned. And I know the limitations of what it takes to make a TV show as far as adaptations. It is very difficult. But I can't lie, I did become that one book reader who was kind of like, that's not in the books, and where's this at? Pretty much throughout seasons 1 and 2, especially season 2, because I do feel like they kind of deviated quite a bit. And then season 3 just kind of went off the board, but at least they were pretty upfront with it. And I feel like they kind of went in interesting directions, which I'm, excited to get into later on. But yeah, it was really exciting. It's really exciting because this is one of the most pivotal moments in A Song of Ice and Fire history. The Dance of the Dragons has been mentioned in Game of Thrones, and it's a very important historical event. So I did feel like this is, if anything is going to be adapted from this universe, that's the perfect story to be adapted. Yeah.
No, I agree very much. Just getting into the differences of the story itself. I know in the first season, because I know the book is written. I've not read the book. I know it's written in third person by like a maester who's recounting the events of this era. And so I did appreciate in the first season what they were trying to do to reconcile with that was like sort of just show like the history that we knew, but also like a different side of it. Like particularly the most interesting twist I think they did was with Laenor and revealing that he faked his death. In history, everyone believed he died, but in reality, he faked his death and was able to leave and run off. And I thought that was a really interesting sort of subversion to like, what history supposedly knows about these events. So I was kind of looking forward to seeing how that might play out with the future seasons and things that might change a little bit, just the sort of context that we get, from being so intimate with the characters. But at a certain point, I think the changes started happening, and Ryan Condal was like, it's just going to be different. Things are just going to be, it's its own story to a certain extent. Some things are there, some things are not. But I did enjoy this latest season as well. There's a lot to go into. Obviously, we kick off with a huge battle at the Gullet, which was supposed to be the original sort of finale from season 2. That led us into hit the ground running with season 3. So we have a lot to go over. So I'm going to tee it up to Andres to sort of guide us through some questions for that.
Yeah, as far as season 3, let's start with you, Meeks. What did you think of the first episode of season 3, what we were leading off with, and kind of the pivotal deaths and dramatic events that we had?
I knew it was coming. I had been dreading it since the end of season 2. I was like, I'm just preparing myself mentally to have my feelings hurt all the fuck up. Just hurt I was just waiting. That kept me from crying, but I was still deeply sad. I was still deeply sad. And I liked how, when I look at this book, I look at it as historical propaganda. Like, it's not telling everything. The person who wrote the book don't like the Targaryens. They don't like the dragons. They don't like the magic. So I'm going to talk about you just like that. I'm going to say everything is your fault and all of that. So when I look at that book and watch what happened in the show, I can see how that would be a more correct, like, series of events happening, because this person is writing as if they knew when they weren't there. So technically we're seeing it. So I would assume this would be more accurate. And then the first season, it was supposed to be like that. So I was like, okay, I know what's going to happen. I know who's going to do what, but seeing that big battle, oh my gosh, that was amazing. If we could have ended season 2 like that, that would have been like a chef's kiss. But to start off with that, knowing what was coming, my feelings were hurt. I was dreading it. I was like, maybe they talk about changing stuff. Maybe they can change some things. Maybe they can change some things and make us feel good. I was hoping for it. But yeah, I was really excited about it. Trepidation, but it fit, it worked, and the battle was great.
Yeah, Arianna and Maple, what did you think of this epic opening to season 3?
I was shocked because I don't know anything really about the books at all. I've kind of avoided just all material about the show in general, even coming off of Game of Thrones. So I've had kind of just like a blind eye leading into it. And with how much press tour they had him doing, I was not expecting them to kill him. I was like, how? Like, you had this man on every red carpet running around for that to happen, and I was shocked.
Yeah, it was a great opening. I will say it was one of my favorite battle scene choreography to watch so far, definitely in House of the Dragon. I thought it was like really well done and having so many separate fights going on. I don't know, I feel like a big part of this season though too is they've really kicked up how to hold our attention in a way that doesn't feel forced or feel like too messy, like kind of that we were getting in towards the end of Game of Thrones. And I think they've kind of really nailed down a solid I guess
it's like Thanksgiving, you know?
Yeah.
You like really get everything you want on your plate.
That's
and it's like, it looks like a mess, but like, it's so good.
Yes.
And you get a little bit over here, a little bit over there. And like, you just enjoy every piece of it. And like, you're just full enough. And then you'll always come back for some seconds later on. Like,
100%. That is how
so
it feels.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was just, I just remember at one point in time just screaming, being like, girl, why are you taking that? That dragon doesn't know you. That was a lot that was yelled during that. I was like, this is a bad call. Like, he doesn't know you like that. Why are you doing this?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
It reminds me of my partner when she tried to save a dog on the street one time and then realized it was a coyote.
Oh no!
Oh, wow. That's exactly what it felt like. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a pretty dramatic way to open the season. Imon, what do you think of that? And then obviously, as I feel most of us are Team Black, so the idea of losing someone like a Jace and then the effect that would have on a Rhaenyra, especially after Viserys.
Yeah, I also did not know that was going to happen. So that was a shock to me. Even the third arrow, I was like, maybe he'll still be alive. Like, I was like, how I could not comprehend that they would kill Jace. And then how it all happened was messy. But I think like my emotional feelings for Rhaenyra, like, she's constantly being disrespected and just mistreated, and there was like that, I think she said something like when she was locked in her room, she was like, they wouldn't do this to a king. And it's like, yes, like, what is going on, and when is she going to get like that respect? And so I feel like that was this season. Like, when are we going to see her like stand up and rise up? And so that made that scene made me emotional. So I think by the time when Jace died, I was mad at him, because you're just like, you stupid kid, like, what are you doing? My child, why? Gosh, so yeah, I had no idea. And the battle was great. It was epic. The dragons, just all of it was awesome.
I was just gonna say it's an interesting aspect. Yeah, my my partner keeps bringing it up is so many conversations that happened in the show. Is she would say that they just wouldn't say this to her if she was a man. Like if she was a king, if she was a man, like people just wouldn't be talking to her like this.
Yeah.
And I think it's such an interesting dynamic to like sort of keep lining through like
Every time
the interactions. Yeah.
Every time, and they would question her. They're like, "Are you sure?" Yes.
That second guess. Yeah.
She's the queen. And that just pissed me off.
Yeah, it's a pretty intense beginning to Rhaenyra's arc throughout season 3, Larissa. I feel like ending season 2 the way they did and then starting season 3 the way they did is a very emphatic way to show you that terrific events are having a pretty powerful effect on Rhaenyra. How'd you feel about starting this season like that?
I did see it coming because I was thinking, like, she's been trying to solve it all as peaceful as possible. And then we see Luke die at the end of season 1, and that really felt like, oh, this is the first event that's gonna change her behavior. But she was still trying to keep it as peaceful as possible. And then I thought, okay, but more has to happen for her behavior to start changing more. So yeah, I didn't expect it to happen in the first episode, but I did expect for at least another one of her children to die in the season. And then when we saw that, Jace disobeyed Rhaenyra, and he went to the battle, then I just knew this is gonna go wrong. So I did see it coming, but yeah, it was still very sad.
Yeah. I feel like this leads up really interestingly into episode 2, which I feel like might be one of the strongest episodes in all House of the Dragon. This is when Rhaenyra goes to King's Landing and just takes the throne by force, obviously with the help of Alicent, making sure the guards are down, and with the help of Daemon. How'd you guys feel about that episode and ending it with Rhaenyra sitting on the throne and having this kind of mixed feeling of like relief, but also hesitation? That whole thing as far as episode 2 goes, Meeks.
I hate Alicent. Let me get this on my chest. I hate that woman. In no way, shape, or form did she help Rhaenyra. She kept giving her all the wrong information. She was like, when you get here, we're going to have this down, and my sons are going to be there, and you can kill them, but leave me, right? Leave me. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. And then you can get what you want with nobody really important dying. And then she gets back, and none of the information that she said is accurate. I'm like, you just set my girl up. You just set her all the way up. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, you couldn't send a note back? Nothing. So that's why I'm like, she didn't help her at all.
That was the funniest thing. I was waiting for her to be like, I gotta go again. I'll be right back. And she just
excuse me for a second. Allow me to take a break. And then come back with Amon on the Amon sitting there. I'm like, girl, I can't with you. I understand them trying to like be peaceable about this, but at the same time, girl, how many kids did you just lose? Get out of my face. I'm not talking to you no more. I don't want to talk to you. So seeing her still trusting in Alicent, I want to shake the shit out of Rhaenyra. Like, girl, stop trusting this woman. I know she wants to help. She is not in a position to help because she don't have the information. In order to have the information, you got to have the power. And they relegated her to the kitchen. Mm-hmm. So why are you talking to her about that? Like, it's not enough information for you to give. But I did like the fact that when she said, let's go, Daemon was like, let me get my sword. Let's get on this dragon. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and fly over there and fuck shit up for real. That was my favorite part, is that people, like, once he talked her out of her immediate despair, she realized, like, I got stuff to do. Like, I really, like, he died. My children died. Did they really die for nothing? Am I going to lay here or am I going to get the fuck up? And she got up and he was like, let's go. And I thought it was cute when she grabbed her sword. I'm pretty sure she might have been trained a little bit, just a little bit. But him looking at her like, girl, put that thing down. Stop playing with me. Put that thing down, girl. Come on in here. And I just appreciated that. Also, the gold cloaks had their backs. Like, I enjoyed the entire way up into the throne. I just wish that the information was correct, because it eventually will create problems for her with the people in there. But I'm just like, girl, you made it. You finally sat down. Thank you. Take a seat. Isn't it exhausting? Yes. So I was happy for all of that. But how she got there, I was just irritated. But I'm just glad that Daemon's in her corner. Like, she needs a strong man in her corner.
Yeah, Arianna and Maple, the taking of King's Landing from Rhaenyra is something that was pretty special as far as the entire lead up of that episode. How'd you guys feel like it worked for you guys?
I was happy to see her like finally kind of it just sucks that it's coming off the back of like a lot of grief. Like, and I'm surprised I'm always surprised that she's not more evil or like really evil at all, because I think that that's a lot of energy propelling her into that position, especially off of false like information. And it made me worried as to what might happen to like the people that she's like entering upon and how that was going to like land in general, just because the way that things were already being run there is not good to begin with. And now everybody dispersing in random directions, it crescendos into what we see as like this grab at power and still her being challenged. And I think I kind of felt the pressure of that. So it was hard. Like I had a hesitancy to feel really excited, but it was at least like somewhat satisfying to see her move into that position.
I was just obsessed with the acting of the episode too. It was a phenomenal performance, I think, by so many different characters. And like even just the final cut when like you walk in and realize and she's on the throne, and just those slight shifts of how like her whole face changes after like Alicent sees Otto and stuff. It's just so impressive to me. And it was just, that was my big takeaway from episode 2 for sure. Is the acting was just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it really is.
Time.
I was blown away by it. I really said it was like episode 2 specifically was like a masterclass in acting, going from grief to victory, but victory at the cost of what? The fact that she's mourning Jace, but still getting what she apparently always wanted, but it doesn't feel right. It was just amazing everything that Emma was doing in that episode. And obviously, Damon as well. I forget the actor's name. I apologize. Matt Smith. Yeah, was also incredible in that episode. Just having a grand old time laughing at Otto.
That was the best thing from it.
Best reaction. The best reaction. And it's so funny because I like completely forgot that we clocked that in the final. We're like, is he in a cell somewhere?
No, and everybody's like, Maple, here she is again being psychic. Because I off the wall was like, what do you think? They got him locked in a cell somewhere?
And then literally we were like, oh, yes, he was. So,
and the problem was that somebody in the comments had to point that out. And I was like, did I say that? Like, I was like, I guess I did. Like, so it's just funny that is exactly what happened. Because we're like, where is he? Like, he's just gone. I couldn't believe it. It just seemed weird because he was too much of like, I mean, he has such a hand in everything that is wrong with Alicent. Well, I mean, who knows? She could have been that, but there was a lot of his bullshit like on top of it. So
no, it's funny. I was gonna say it's funny. Like, I remember the cell thing, and a lot of people do, but there's so many people who I saw in reactions and then in person as well. They're like, "Oh yeah, I forgot he was in a cell or something at the end of the last season." I guess it was so long ago between seasons.
That would be me.
Yeah,
it was pretty crazy. Yeah, Imon, the mixed emotions of Emma. I mean, not Emma. I apologize. Of Rhaenyra taking the throne. How'd you feel about her finally getting this moment, but coming at the major cost of what she had to go through?
Yeah, it felt the way I think it's that they wanted us to feel, which it's just uneasy. Like, even when she sat on that throne, there was like a moment, like I was like, okay, good, this is good, because I knew like she's like got a minute of like positive, and then once Alicent comes in, and then her face drops, and it's like, okay, well, it was fun while it lasted for 2 minutes on the throne. The acting was amazing. Her crying and holding Jace was, I don't even know how she got through that, like after filming, because I feel like she would just have like a headache and just her body would be in pain. So that was intense. I totally forgot about Otto. I did not. I was like, are they leading Daemon to an explosive? Like, is there a bomb in there? And it wasn't until Otto was with him coming, I was like, oh yes, kill him, because it's his fault. He did it. So I love that Rhaenyra had to do it. She had to be the one to cut off his head, and that she misses the first time. It's just so real. So it's just uneasy. Like, there wasn't like a moment of like I'm just cheering, like, because that's all I wanted to do from the first to the second season was cheer for her. But then it was like, oh no, but all the pieces on the board it's scattered. Like, where's Aegon? Aemon's not here. Like, it was very uneasy.
Yeah. Larissa, how'd you feel about this moment for Rhaenyra as far as her finally taking this throne?
Yeah, it was good to finally see her have a win, because she needed that. But indeed, I had mixed feelings about the whole situation, because at first I was like, there's still like 6 episodes left of this season. There's another season coming. This is not where it ends. Would have been nice if this was the ending, but we all know it's not. So I had a lot of mixed feelings there. And I wanted to cheer for her, but indeed you just feel the weight of what she has lost to get here. And it was indeed just very, very uneasy. And I also forgot about Otto. So I had the same thing when Daemon was walking there. I was like, are they leading him into a trap or something? Because it felt so intense. I was like, what is going on here? And then I was like, is it Otto? No, it can be Otto, right? Why would he be there? But then it was Otto. Just a lot of mixed feelings for me. I think my favorite part was when they got into the Red Keep and Daemon killed all the guards. I think that was a really cool scene.
Yeah, there's like a famous tweet that says like it's literally just like a montage of like Linkin Park with like a bunch of like dude bro like images flying over it, and someone was like, "This is what it feels like to watch Daemon Targaryen do anything." It's just like just a cool Linkin Park montage of things like race cars and Godzilla and all this stuff. And it's like, and it's exactly how it felt in that episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say Daemon is just it's crazy. The fact that he's like, she has me when the Maesters ask, you can't bring an army in there. And it's like, it's fine. It's Daemon Targaryen. He's in there, so you got it. Eric, I don't know about you, but I kind of want to keep talking about Rhaenyra because I do feel like that's obviously, you could argue, the protagonist of the season, of the series, and we finally got the technically descent into kind of a little bit of a darker side of Rhaenyra by the end of the season, I want to say. It definitely took every single episode to get there, I will say. I don't think we finally officially got that until the final episode. They really wanted to let you know that Rhaenyra is getting into that darker side of her. How did you feel about this arc as a whole, as far as her descent going into this darker side, Meeks?
It took too long.
Yeah.
It took too long. I got 2 dead kids. Like, y'all bothering me. I started my period. I'm sitting on the throne. Everybody's getting on my motherfucking nerves. I got Mysaria in one ear. I got Daemon in the other ear. I ain't got no money. Like, my money's missing. I don't understand what you want from me. I just need a break. I am awash with deficiencies. Please. There's rats everywhere. Like, it took her too long to shut people up, because too many people were still talking like she wasn't the queen, like she wasn't on the throne, like she didn't have the responsibility. Like, people should have been dying quicker. I was with Daemon the entire time. Like, hey, listen, you got a dragon. All you got to do is go hot somebody real quick, right? And they will sit down and shut up and let you try to figure this out. Like, she didn't get a moment to freaking think. And they just kept peppering her. And she was like, well, my father would do this, so I'm trying to like rule like he would rule. But you have 2 different kingdom situations right now. Like, you are in a position that you're coming in here thinking that you have everything your father had, and finding out you don't. So now you have to figure out whether to support the small folks or pay your guards. The fact that she listened to Mysaria in the first place, I wanted to slap the hot fire out of her. Like, you need to pay your security. Pay your security. You could have even did a 70-30 split Like, pay your security, anything. And so by the time that like she realized she needed to do something, she really didn't have the army around her that she had before. Like the gold cloaks were the one thing that was keeping the city together. Without them, Ormond was able to flit around and do whatever he wanted to do. And I'm just like, girl, heads have to roll for people to take you seriously. Unfortunately, you as a woman, they're automatically going to deduct everything. They're going to not listen to you. You're going to deduct everything they're saying from you. So you got to go in there strong. And she should have listened to Daemon. She should have listened to that man because he was telling the truth. He was like, sometimes, you know, Olenna said it best. You are a dragon, be a dragon. Sometimes you just got to go out there and show your whole ass. And then sit down and be like, now, what did we learn from that? If you don't want to see that again, then maybe we should be more, friendly. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it took entirely too long for her to lose her fucking mind. I want you to go out there and put a line in the sand, and anybody crosses it, get rid of them. The Sept should have been gone. Put him in a dungeon.
Whole thing. Yeah. Seriously.
Step one.
Blow it up.
Listen, put him in a dungeon. Like, you don't want to do this? You don't want to do your job? Oh, you don't like me? Okay, next. I don't have time. So I'm like, it took too long.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I do think it's a funny dynamic though, because I do really love that third episode and just the sort of anxiety inducing, first day on the job dynamic that they have going on. And I think it is a funny pairing because like Daemon does have a lot of prudent advice for, for her throughout the show. But it's also then coupled with his like just insane need to like just keep going beyond. He's like, okay, we got King's Landing. We're good here, right? We can go now. Let's go to Essos. Let's go to like, ET's go all over the place. And we'll get all those too. She's like, well, let's get through the first day of this, and then see. And then we'll see where we'll go next with Daemon.
Yeah, no, I think it's fascinating to see Rhaenyra's arc. Obviously, there's been a lot of conversations as far as the way Game of Thrones writers, the Game of Thrones world handles these kind of arcs as far as going into this darkness. How'd you feel like it worked for you guys, Arianna and Maple?
To be honest, it's like it felt like such an inevitability of it all because like they have Team Green has just fucked up her shit from day one. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't even know if we can swear or not. I just thought about that. But, and I feel like it's what I don't know. I think maybe I just caught the vibe a little too hard over there. But it does feel like within, especially when we're watching this episode, it's like or episode 3 or when she's making these decisions, it feels like she's making half of a right like step, but then it's like immediately it's like -2. It's like she's like almost there. If she would just like for every right decision, the wrong decision costs her more. And I do agree that like I did think it would be a faster thing that we would see because like at the end of the day, I'm not rooting for Rhaenyra to go completely off the path to like kind of descend to their level because they have always operated from down here, and I understand like what is being said, but it doesn't feel the embodiment of where it feels like she now is at the end. It's not that it wasn't earned; it just felt like could have gotten there faster, but it also felt like it should have had. I don't know. She should just, when Daemon said be a god, she should have just decided to be a god. I think I disagree a lot there. I don't know. I'm kind of unsure because I want her to be the good guy so bad, but she can't be. Like, I know she's not going into season 4 going to be able to be a good guy. And I think that's more of the heartbreak that I'm experiencing.
Dang. See, and my problem is I'm like, I just want her to be evil. And that's what I was saying before. I'm like, I think she could have been evil faster. I think she could have been evil off the bat. I think if it were me, unfortunately, if I was a queen in this situation, I'd be coming in and be like, you killed my babies. Like, my son thought he had to go out there and sacrifice himself, got wrecked, and like, I can't do this. And it's my best friend turning on me. How she doesn't, I don't, like, she's taking the betrayal, like, so just off the shoulder. It surprises me how much like she's able to compose herself in these situations, but I feel like it's because she reverts into just feeling so sad, and it's preventing her from really just looking at the people around her and being able to say like, some of them are coddling me and some of you are just absolutely doing nothing or just not listening, and I'm already at a disadvantage. So instead of just being honest with herself about the predicament that she's in and being a god and just allowing herself to really fill the space regardless of the cost of that. It's like I kind of wanted that to happen for her sooner, but it seems like it's more of a descent into her actually just being evil, not for like it's more of a sad, it's tragic, and I think that's more compelling than her just showing up and like strong arming everybody, because she's not probably going to get her way ultimately as I see it, but it's I think she probably could have snapped a little sooner.
Yeah, Imon, did you feel like this arc, as far as where Rhaenyra started and where she ended up by the end of season 3, did you feel like it worked overall for you?
Yeah. It made sense. I really didn't want her to go to the dark side, because of the whole this big promise that she made with Viserys. It's like, this is like the thing, we have to unite the realm, and I don't know, like I don't know what I would do. So I like how we're all kind of like, well, if I'm sitting on the throne, what would I do? And I think that's like, I honestly, I agree. Like, I can't believe it took her that long to snap, because it could have happened first season. Like, there was a lot going on against her. I don't know. Like, it's hard for me to root for like a bad character, like the evil character. Yeah. So that's why, I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm like, it makes sense, but, and then also, I don't know. I really liked Stannis, and that's kind of like I don't know. So I'm okay with it. I think it's okay. Like, I don't know. We'll see how she is in the 4th season. Because I feel like if they make it, I don't want her to turn into Dany and be like crazy, like out of nowhere.
Right.
You know, like I think I hope she has some humanity still, and like the rage that she should have. So it worked for me. It just, at the cost of like Helena dying, is just like, it feels bad.
Yeah, it's a lot for sure. And I like that you brought up Dany, because it's difficult not to bring up Game of Thrones and bring up the history of what they've done with Daenerys. There was obviously a lot of criticism as far as how quickly she turned, how sudden it felt, and how strange it felt, versus what we got a little bit more with Rhaenyra. Did you feel like this worked a lot better, Larissa? And did you feel like it made sense within the universe that she's living in, this world that she's kind of living in?
I think it makes way more sense than with Dany, also because in the show, in Game of Thrones, it just went way too fast indeed. And here there are like a lot of reasons why Rhaenyra would snap eventually. I still thought it would have happened earlier. I thought after Jace, just instantly, but I still think she stayed way too gentle for too long. And I think it made more sense here than with Dany.
Yeah, I will say it's interesting. I think part of that, resistance that she has as a character to turning entirely, it's just predicated on the idea of like, well, she's trying to follow like the law, or like, what was sort of set up as like what's supposed to be just like obvious to everyone. She was named as the heir. It's like, why can't people see that? And like, now that we sort of, overthrown Aegon, we're in the throne, everything kind of get back to normal. Everything should click into place, and people should get back to sanity and follow like the law of the land, which is like, I'm in charge now. Everyone's supposed to listen to me. And she's still feeling this resistance, which is, steeped in like, misogyny, sexism, and all this stuff. And so she's constantly just up against this thing, realizing that she has to sort of cross that line, unfortunately, of losing her values and the morals that she believed were part of like her reality, to get to the point where she has to get anything done.
I think she also just really loved her dad, and this could just be some random thing that I'm pulling out of air because I haven't read the books entirely, but I think that I've heard her character kind of bring up a lot of nostalgia around the way that her dad ruled and what his ideas were. And I think it goes beyond her trying to live up to that, because I think obviously she's in a different time. So like it can't be that thing, but it's like she's too nostalgic for her own good.
Mhm.
And I think that when she sees Alicent, it's difficult for that full snap to happen, because I think those two things are so intertwined for her. Alicent is such a key portion in the time that she also had with her father, and then they became enmeshed. And so it's like I don't know how, with this crossing of friends and family within family, like it just adds this emotional dynamic within her relationships that I think there's too much nostalgia clouding all of the grief as well, that she can't process what it means. Because if she is to snap, then it's against, I think, this time in her life that she's mentally trying to protect herself with, or kind of shield herself with in the current time that she's in.
Yeah.
So it just, makes it like, I don't know. I think it makes it intense that so there is a part of me that can't understand why she didn't snap like as quickly.
Yeah. I also feel like she sees I don't want to say success, but the kind of enthusiasm and vigor that Daemon inspires in a lot of his men and a lot of people that he's around. Obviously, whether it's the Gold Cloaks or whether it's the Tullys and the Winter Wolves, Daemon inspires this kind of enthusiasm and vigor from his men. And the fact that he is kind of cruel and kind of like a mean dude, and she sees that as like, well, if he's able to do it, why can't I do it? And I think that's part of her outfit change too, which I think is a pretty dramatic but effective way of showing you that Rhaenyra is now going in this direction. I can't lie. I feel like that's one of the most pivotal, most important things that we've seen in all this season is just that fit, is just her rocking that fit. I really did feel like that was like, all right, we're in it now. This is definitely where Rhaenyra is headed. Right. But having Daemon in her ear is definitely something that kind of led her in that direction as well. Obviously, this is supposed to be between Aegon and Rhaenyra, and the fact that we're seeing Rhaenyra's descent while we see Aegon's kind of rise with obviously with Sunfire coming back, but also the fact that he's getting low-key his team back with Aemon and Vhagar. How'd you guys feel about Aegon kind of not redeeming himself, but kind of finding himself, Meeks?
It took him dying and having no choice. Child, get out of my face. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Like, there is no rise for me. He's at this point, he's like, well, I have nothing else to do. People think I'm dead, so I might as well go do something. I might as well go try something. Well, who cares? If I do die, I'm already dead. Like, I can't. I think it's funny. I think it's entertaining, but I can't take that man seriously because nobody else takes him seriously. Even when he was the king, people were like, did you want another drink? You thirsty? You sit over there and let us do the things. And you have a drink. Like, nobody told him to drunk drive his dragon into a freaking battle and get fricasseed. Like, nobody told him to do that. That was him. So I'm like, I don't trust in anything this man has to say. But I do think it's interesting that he perked up a little when he got his zombified dragon back, because that baby is on his last leg. They both on their last leg. But here's the thing. They don't have Vhagar back. Nobody knows where Vhagar is. Right now, he has a Aemond who wants to be in the house with his witch wife. So I don't know what we're going to do with that. Like, when did Vhagar disappear? When he got to Harrenhal. Yeah, she's been gone the entire time. Nobody knows where she is or why. So I'm like, as of right now, for me, it's season 4. They gotta figure out how to get Vhagar first before they say anybody's back to doing anything, because that's the muscle. Nobody cares about you. The muscle is Aemon. Everybody's been looking for Aemon and Vhagar. So I'm like, are you really who you say you are if they're really not looking for you? Are they? And not to mention, when Ormond found out, he tucked that thing right in his pocket. It was like, hey, Dayron, come here for a second. like he wasn't like, nobody is really concerned about that, especially the people on his team. So right now, the only person he could potentially have in his pocket is Aemon, because Alicent don't want nothing to do with him, because Alicent is like, as long as you're alive, I'll never be free. Helena is like, as long as you're alive, I'm forever trapped. So Otto is dead. That was the main person who was on his team, and he dismissed. Crispy Crunch is dead. So I'm like, so who do you have left in your team, really? Ormond was never on your team. And you definitely don't want Daeron on your team because he's been calling himself the king. So I'm like, right now you got 2 and a possible with Vhagar. So I don't know how you're gonna like, I don't know where we're going. Like, I know where they went in the books, but I don't know where we're going here. Like, I don't know how we're supposed to get to where they say that he's supposed to be. Like, I don't understand. I can't comprehend.
Yeah.
Because I'm just confused. So I don't think there's a rise at all. I just think right now he's out here trying stuff. He's throwing stuff at a wall and seeing what sticks. Because don't nobody like you. And that's the problem. Your team doesn't like you.
Yeah, it's so funny. Vhagar being missing this whole time. It's like, how are you missing that big ass dragon? It's like the Shaq meme of him hiding behind the tree.
Yeah, that's a pretty major player to be missing right now. But did that work for you guys, Arianna and Maple? The kind of like Aegon finding himself kind of storyline, while the Rhaenyra kind of Breaking Bad storyline, that two kind of dynamics?
Honestly, maybe I was leaning more towards that. I also thought it was a little funny too. And
I thought
not
it-
intentionally, but like it was making me think of Barry.
Yeah. I
Like,
can't give spoilers on that, but
yeah. Which if you've seen Barry, like you'll have to go watch Barry if you haven't, but he's just being himself. Like he's just outside. Like he's literally just being himself outside. So it's like it just felt like we just got to spend more time with him while he was being evil. But to say that by the time he comes and his dragon was sunfired, like I liked that scene. I think he's fun. I don't know if I would really hang out with him like genuinely, but I mean, if he's doing what he's doing, I'll let him have it. But over there,
yeah, honestly, I am so here for the dialogue that they were giving them. Though when Larissa just hits him with like, "Dude, you're a bad king and you're a bad man," and it's just like one of the toughest lines I've heard out of somebody.
Yeah, and the way he's looking at him,
yeah, the way he's like, "You don't know this." Like, how are you so confused? I'm like,
nobody
you're
likes
the
you.
worst. Nobody. You're the absolute worst. And when Lannister comes back and hits him with, he goes, "Do you think I'm a good or a bad man?" And he's like, I guess, yeah, we're gonna stop because he also doesn't like me, but he's an ass kisser and I trust you more. So I do think like getting to go on the journey with Larissa and them and that whole thing was just, it did add some comedic relief in a way that I did think it was so interesting that they do tie in. Will say though, when he does show up and talk to Aemon, the true remorse that you feel off of Aemon was just something I was so not anticipating. And I was like, of all the people right now in this show, that's the man that's remorseful and about this to Aegon. Of all the things this man has been doing through all 3 seasons, it's like, oh yeah, I'm a kinslayer and I feel bad, and it's like, I will help you, and it's like, what? Okay.
I know, and
I
it's
don't
just
know.
awful to think you had to fall out of limerence with your own mother in order to get there. Like, what the?
Like, this is where we're at.
I'm just like, all right. It's like, I don't want to be thinking these sentences in my head, but if this is where I have to go, then I guess.
Yeah. I think that's part of kind of what's been happening with Aegon this season. That's a really good point, is the fact that it's just his bizarre, but also kind of surprisingly funny and semi-charming way of being that is kind of getting a lot of people to be like, this guy's actually kind of funny. And that doesn't mean he's going to be a good king. But it makes him a little bit more of an interesting character to watch and to enjoy, Imon. How'd you feel about his kind of arc throughout the season, especially when compared to Rhaenyra?
I feel like he's a good example of, I don't know, hitting rock bottom and then coming up, but his rock bottom and Aemon's rock bottom is so low. Like, it's like you had to be try to get killed by your mom, and then you're remorseful, and then also you and your dragon are dead, like supposed to be dead, and that's like the rock bottom. It's very interesting. But I felt like with Aegon, it had to be that. Like there was no other way. Like he was so out of it. He was just a baby king, like king baby, man baby. Like he really just wasn't getting it. And I think once his son was murdered, that was like the first piece of like the puzzle. But I actually really liked. I was surprised by the Lannister and Aegon at the end. I was like, wow, that's honorable. I think that's what I kept saying. And I am a sucker for honorable things. So even if it's like Aegon being honorable, I'm just like, oh, cool. That's cool. And then like Sunfire coming in is great. But I think his arc is interesting. And I think the fact that we can root for so many different people, so many different houses is what makes this series really great, and the actors really great. And then that whole I'm alive bit was so I was not expecting that. Yeah, I was not expecting that. It was so funny.
Spin. Yeah.
That was epic. That's probably the line of the season, to be honest. And it comes from Aegon. Yeah, I agree with you, Imon. The fact that for me personally, and I don't know about you guys, maybe because I'm such a dragon lover, I wasn't rooting for Aegon. I was rooting for Sunfire. So I was like, I'm just here for Sunfire. I'm happy to have my boy back because I love that dragon. But yeah, seeing Aegon go through this whole weird kind of arc, but interesting arc that he kind of needed to go on. Larissa, how'd you feel about his character this season?
Yeah, I agree with the rest. I think the scenes were really fun. But I already thought that in season 2 with some scenes of him where he's sitting on the throne with his friends and just getting drunk, and when he brought his kid into the council. Then I was already thinking like, oh, he's a pretty fun guy. And then I just have to remind myself like, no, he's an asshole. And I think we just got more of that in this season. And I really enjoyed it, but I still don't understand why people are rooting for him to be king, because he didn't even do anything. He has never done anything to be king. He never even tried. Then people are saying like, yeah, but we want him to be king because Rhaenyra is not making good decisions right now. But then I'm thinking like, but what decisions has he ever made?
Yeah.
So that just doesn't make sense to me. And I think his storyline was very fun, but I just can't understand why people are rooting for him.
Yeah, it's very strange. It's kind of interesting. Obviously, I've seen a lot of people also say that, the fact that people were saying, I think even, I'm not going to throw him under the bus because this is a House of the Dragon show, but I think even Ryan Condal said like, oh yeah, Aegon's redemption arc. And I'm like, what redemption arc? He just got his dragon back and started getting a little bit more swaggy with it. But there's no redemption here. It's just kind of him just finding himself and getting a little bit stronger there. But it is kind of interesting, Larissa, that you bring that up, because so much of this show is about the misogyny of this time and how people won't accept a woman on the throne, and the irony of the audience itself. And I know this is getting really meta, also kind of falling into that trap where they're just rooting for Aegon now because he's funny and has some funny one-liners. Also kind of falls into that same misogyny that we see nowadays. How do you guys feel about this kind of like meta-ness as far as people really kind of missing the point of what this show is trying to say about the natural cruelty of what men can do, and then when a woman shows just like a glimmer of that, like an inch of it, it's just like she's the most evil, worst person in the world. And
the
this is
comments
for
are
anyone.
ridiculous. The comments are ridiculous. I've been blocking and just been looking at people writing literal soliloquies, 5, 6, 7 paragraphs in my comments about how Rhaenyra's the bitch whore who's not a real queen and Aegon is the greatest. And I'm just like, do you see yourself? I'm going to let this stay up before I hit the block button, because I want you to understand that I'm not reading this, nor do I care. It's a show. Chill out. Calm down. But it's just so interesting to see people not understand, like see the point and then dodge it. And then come back and be like, there was no point to this. I don't, it's very interesting. Humans are weird. Humans are weird. That's all I got. I just like, okay.
Yeah. We did the same thing. I like went through and as much as I hate to not offer people spaces to have like in-depth conversations, it does get to a point as creators where we really do need to allow people who want to actually have discussions about the show and not remarks that are just derogatory because the show itself is bringing up a topic. And I think we did a good job of kind of allowing space for the audience that it is okay to having open conversations about things like that in our sections, because we did a lot of blocking it as well. Because we knew immediately with the whole Christian Cole, like that episode, like I had to sit there and moderate so many things because I was like, this is not the experience that I want to have with this show. I want to be able to talk about the topics that the show itself is bringing up because I feel like it is important and it has everything to do with Rhaenyra's character. I mean, her character has lines that even bring it up itself. So I always think like how I think, Imon, you were saying having this kind of purposeful rage, hopefully for her in the future. And I think seeing a display of that with her character would be really nice if we get that. Because I don't know, I like things where women can display kind of more of, not that I want women to be violent, that's not what I'm saying, but it's like allowing yourselves the same power that the men display in the room for kings and things, for Rhaenyra to be able to do some of the same things. And even if she receives lashing back on that, in a way it would be satisfying for me, because some of the most like powerful things even in nature are like female and like women. And so I don't know, I just think I always think of spiders is kind of random, but like people are terrified of spiders, and like the bigger spiders are the women, and when they bite they can inject you with venom and toxicity, but most of the time they might be pretty docile, but people fear them. And so it's like being able to have like a small little body, and it's like this strong, powerful woman. It's like I think people could fear that, even herself, like even be fearing her, because she could probably display a lot of power. And what does it mean if she does do that? And what does that actually look like? And how effective could she actually be if she decided to fill that space? So it could be worse than what people think kings can do. Like, so I don't know. I think I wish more people thought of it more dynamically than just in a space to try to put women like down, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Do you have anything? Arianna's like covered it.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on this dynamic that we see with the House of the Dragon fandom, Imon?
Yeah, I actually didn't realize that what you pointed out makes so much sense. And it's like we're really uncomfortable to see a woman being angry, like you said, like she just did one little thing, and then Aegon has been just an ass for his whole character arc from season 1, or I don't know when he's been in there, but yeah, season 1 or whatever. And then it's like us as the audience, we're reacting the same way. That is really interesting. It is interesting. Like it's an uncomfortable, like, why are people rooting for Aegon versus Rhaenyra? You know, Aegon hasn't shown anything to be king-like at all or responsible. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Was he the one with the kids in the ring? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Right? Like, it's like when you think about that, it's like,
yeah.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of, because I know Mabel and Arianna, you just started Pluribus on the channel, at least. I'm not sure if you finished it. And Imon, we talked about Pluribus before, and no spoilers for the show and as a whole, but it's similar to that show, how everyone in the fandom really didn't like how angry Carol is in the show. I mean, they found it like really off-putting, but it's like it's entirely justified with what the circumstance of the show is. So I just feel like, it's like one of those tried and true, dynamics that fortunately the audience has yet to sort of overcome from a mass audience standpoint.
Yeah, which goes to show, I feel personally, that whatever happens in the future seasons, and this isn't me trying to get into Fire and Blood spoilers, But the idea of every action that Rhaenyra takes from this day forward kind of paints that picture, right? Where now people in King's Landing are going to be even more critical of her if she shows any kind of strength or anger or anything like that because of their own internalized misogyny that they had and what they're accustomed to as far as men being the rulers. So it is very interesting and fascinating the way this show is kind of breaking that down as far as she's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like no matter what she does, she's going to be Rhaenyra the Cruel regardless. So she's kind of like tapping into that a little bit more.
Yeah, is the title? It's funny again, going back to what I was talking about, like the sort of context reshaping things. The Rhaenyra the Cruel thing is like I think part of like we're seeing in this show like how that gets from point A to B. Like history will paint it as like this sort of like broad stroke, like she was just a bad person, but we're seeing like in real time, like sort of how someone sort of breaks down, you know, from what they initially wanted to be to like to the title that they get.
Yeah, and I will say too, as a Fire and Blood book reader, and I don't know if you would agree with this, Meeks, but I feel like the way they've done Rhaenyra in the show is very fascinating because in the book she is so different. In the book, she's very much just everything that she presents herself to be as a very flawed character. And the way George writes her is very, very flawed. Like she's just a genuinely flawed human being. And not to say she isn't flawed in the show, but seasons 1 and 2 really build her up to be a very sympathetic character. So I do find it a little bit fascinating, the fact that they chose to do this descent a little bit more slowly, like you guys were all agreeing, as far as maybe making it a little too slow. But I think that might have been a little bit purposeful to show that this isn't just, you know, this woman is crazy kind of story. It's more of look at the circumstances that she finds herself in that kind of drives her to this point. Yeah.
And then with that also how people interpret that. Because like I said before, that book to me is Maester Propaganda. They took everything that was happening. It was like, well, because she decided to cut off these kids' heads, she's so cruel and nasty, and she didn't care that her kids died. And I'm just like, yeah, I see. It's like you're listening to somebody talk about somebody that they don't like, and you're in the middle. So you just sitting there like, that's what she said. Oh, she did say that. She said that, didn't she? She said she wanted everybody and their mom to die, and she didn't care. Okay, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. So I like how they did that because it gives us a little bit of dimension to the books and to the world. Because you know that the lore and the stories run so deep, just like the Targaryen 50-50 flip a coin madness. Like how many out of the Targaryens that we meet, how many of them were truly mad? Literally maybe like 5 or 6 out of the hundreds that we know about. So how is that 50-50? But that's still something that is said even in the Game of Thrones series. So I'm like, but I do like how they have the dichotomy of the books and what we're seeing. This is fun.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by so many characters in this show, but I really do have to ask you guys about Daemon Targaryen.
I love it.
Just because I feel like that's such a major character in this show, and he kind of went through a pretty interesting journey as well, if you want to count the last episode, because I do feel like that's a very important episode. I don't necessarily think it'll mean that Daemon is going to be some, changed man and he's, going to be a pacifist now, but I do feel like he definitely saw a different side to what dragons are capable of, especially being on the ground level to that devastation. But how'd you feel about his character this season, Larissa, as far as whether it's with him and Rhaena, with him and Rhaenyra, and kind of everything he was trying to balance as a character himself?
I really loved his scenes this season because, last season, of course, he was only in Harrenhal, and I didn't really like his storyline then. Yeah. So I feel like I missed him. So it was good to see more of him this season. Also, indeed, the storyline with Rhaena, I feel like this is the first time we've actually seen him sort of trying to be a dad. So I like that. I think he had a really nice storyline this season.
Yeah, how'd you feel about the Rhaena Daemon dynamic, Imon?
It was beautiful. Like I really was happy that happened. I like that he leveled with her and was like, I also didn't have a dragon, and it's just like he became way more human this season. They humanized him a lot more, and I guess they're just like, well, let's let him act. So, because he's a great actor. And I like the Harrenhal stuff. I did kind of forget the second season that he was just trapped in like a nightmare, like a fever dream the whole time. So yeah, it was nice to see that. It made me worried. Like I was like, oh no, he's gonna lie to Rhaenyra, but it was something he needed to do for his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
He needed to have her back on this specific moment, and he did. So he made like a great choice. I think he's gonna change. I actually felt like that last episode, that last scene where he sees everything, like, oh, this was my ego. Like I wanted Hightower's head on a stake or whatever he said. But the reality is all of these people are dead. So he got to see that. And I think it'll make his character even better next season.
Yeah, the humanization of Daemon Targaryen was a pretty big point this season. Arianna and Maple, how'd you guys feel like that was handled as far as him still being the Daemon we know and love, but also showing a different side to him?
I think it was really refreshing to see to a certain degree. I do think it is awesome to see that at the end of the day, even though he is disagreeing with Rhaenyra on certain aspects, he's still like, I've got your back. I'm here for you. I'm going to support you and hold you up and take you through this. And I think that is a really beautiful thing to see. And I do love that they did put a spotlight, like, and we get to see him be a dad and try to show up for her. The only thing that's frustrating, though, it's just like, if they just would have talked about it, I feel like there's a lot of miscommunication. It's like, if you just would have went and told Rhaenyra that's Rhaena, we could have been done with this. Yeah. We could be done fighting through this. So I wish there was just like a smidge more open communication between them. But I do think he is like, I don't know, he's always going to be Daemon. So he's still trying to go out there and just play and slay. But but it does feel like he's watching the fire around him. And I do think like he truly did mean it when he said, I won't make you look cruel. I don't think he wanted to do that. I do think he wanted to handle it the right way. And I, like you had said, though, I do think the shock of seeing it all, he's like, man, she had a point when she didn't want to just go in and burn it all. So,
yeah. And I think it was nice to see him like offer her like some space and some time. And obviously it was going to come back around. Eventually she can't just be flying around in the Vale probably forever, like undetected. It looks insane. So it's like, I really do like his character. I found myself though a lot of times being like, because he's an attractive character in terms of the people on the screen too. So it's like, I wish he wasn't her uncle. Also, so it's like, yeah, great dad, but you're also like kind of my uncle. Like, so it's like, like it just, that always throws me off a little bit. But he's my favorite like main character, side quest character on screen. We actually really liked the haunting that he went through. Like,
we thought it was well deserved. He wasn't going to do anything. He was acting a fool, trying to start his own army, talking about call me king.
I know.
He deserved that haunt.
He kind of has like special interest vibes where he just picks something up and like that's just what he's going to do. But he's always just himself. So I think too, it's like, hey, you know what? If you're going to be a dad now and wear that hat, like, let's go, like full send, like let it happen. And I'm here just for the experience of him. So, and to his actor, the actor himself is just really good. The amount of speeches he has where we're talking about how he's really good at rallying people. And maybe that's kind of a contrast between him and Rhaenyra a little bit is, he is compelling and he has a lot of energy and he's very vivacious. And so even as an audience member, it is easy to get kind of encapsulated in his vibe when he's on screen. So he just becomes very likable despite how like brutish he can be at times. And he is very dynamic. So it's very enjoyable.
Yeah, he's definitely that dude. He's that guy. I love, you reminded me of season 2 when he comes in and he says, he's like, I'm the king. And then Simon corrects him.
Yeah. I mean, snap.
R.I.P. We forgot about R.I.P. Simon Strong, the biggest character we lost this season. But the fact that he's like, well, I'm the husband to the queen. What does that make me? And he's like, well, king. And he's like, well, there you go, consort. R.I.P. Simon Strong. But yeah, Daemon is an amazing character. I feel like his decisiveness is really what makes him what he is, Meeks. The fact that he is so decisive and the fact that he is the one to really try and do something instead of kind of trying to think through something. But how'd you feel about Daemon this season?
I just think about season 1 where everybody was like wary of him. Like, oh my God, he causes so much trouble. He's in it for himself. And he's always been honest. He was like, I'm here to support you, Viserys, and you won't let me. So I feel like he's kept that same energy closer to the end of season 1. And then when all that stuff happening, he was like, listen, my wife is down. She just had a miscarriage. Like, she can't. So I've got to. And so he took that I've got to a little too seriously. And that's why he had to go to the place where ambitions die, Harrenhal. He had to go sit there and stew in that haunting pot until he got his mind correct, until he saw what he needed to see that put him back on the path that he was originally on in season 1, where whoever is in charge, it's my duty to support you. And I like that he's pretty much stayed consistent to that. So people just, I feel like people overestimate his chaos and underestimate his loyalty to his family and the crown. Because that's pretty much what it is. Like, Viserys was a shit ruler, but he imparted on his family that, listen, family is family. So if you can do something without harming them, do it. But if you've got to harm them, you need to think long and hard about what you're doing. And that's what Rhaenyra and even Daemon was doing. Because after the death of Luke, like, me personally, I would have went off. The dragons would have been unleashed and a lot of people would have died because my feelings were hurt. So them being able to take that time to be like, okay, let's plan this. Let's try to keep it a strategy. Let's try to keep it together. And Daemon on the side being, okay, yeah, but we also need to hit hard. If we don't hit hard, it's all for naught. So to me, he's kept the same energy throughout the entire 3 seasons. It's just that this one, now she's allowing him to go out there and start the fights that he wanted to fight, while even keeping in the back of his mind that, hey, don't show your ass out here. She said, take this city, but don't be ruthless if you don't have to. And even when he sees the dragon, he realizes that Ulf is just doing whatever. He's like, shit, this is going to look bad because everybody knows that Ulf had claimed Rhaenyra. So now it's going to look bad on her. And so in the middle of getting his behind beat, because we ain't never seen that. We ain't never seen that. He was getting rocked. And so in the middle of being rocked, looking up and seeing somebody who's supposedly on your side doing damage to a town that they're not supposed to do, and knowing that it's going to fall back, he's just like, okay, now what? Now what at this point? Because now he's going to have to go back home and explain all this if he can. So I'm just like, I like seeing him do this. And even with Rhaena, he was like, yeah, I know, I've been a shit dad. I have. You didn't have a dragon, so I didn't think you were worthy. But her claiming a wild dragon, oh, that put her at the top of the list. He was like, girl, how you do that? Instantly, he was like, well, how did this even happen? He never really got the answer to it because she was like, I just fed him. He was like, that's not an answer that I needed. That doesn't help me. Yeah. So him actually, like, he's always cared about these kids. He's always cared about them. He just wants y'all in the back. Like, he doesn't want y'all near him. He just sit down and allow me to do what I need to do for you as a father. Yeah. Not always affectionate, but I mean, he's always been that same person. So I've liked him from season 1 all the way up to now, and he's been consistent to me. So yeah. Eric, I don't know about you, man, but do you mind if I do a quick rapid fire, just the fun questions that I have? Yeah. I just want to get your guys' favorite dragon. I feel like this is the most important question in all of House of the Dragon. Everybody has a favorite dragon. So I'll start with you, Larissa. Favorite dragon?
I think after this season, it has to be Caraxes because there were so many fun scenes of him. I just loved it.
Imon, do you have a favorite dragon?
Yeah, I would say Caraxes too. He was just like really noodly. So he's interesting looking. Yeah.
Arianna Maple?
Oh my gosh, my brain just went so blank. Why can't even
who's dragon? Oh, you're saying blank entirely.
I can't even get to the name.
I got it. I like Sunfire.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I always love like little like because now he's funky looking too. He probably like I don't know. I like the weird ones. So I'm fine
ugly
with
dogs.
yeah. Like I'm gonna do
Okay.
rescue adoption and be like, yeah, he's a little wobbly. He's got a backstory. Like he's fine.
Yeah. Helena's dragon. Is it Dreamfire? I always
Dreamfire.
like
Dreamfire.
Dreamfire. Okay, I just didn't want to say
Oh yeah,
the vision
Dreamfire?
of her,
Oh.
when she gets the vision of her, them. I'm not sure of the pronouns right there, but beautiful. That's who I'm picking.
Yeah, the purple coming. Yeah, the
With all the
scales.
horns?
It looks
Yeah.
Yes, the little
so
crown of horns.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Mine's is Caraxes. Noodle Boy. Noodle Boy is like a top tier. Not only can Noodle Boy alert, he was like, I smell somebody in that cave. He's also like, if Daddy say get him, I'm gonna get him. He jumped on Silverwing and like the other two dragons were having a hell of a time putting Silverwing like in his place. Was it Silverwing? No, not Cannibal.
Sheep stealer?
Sheep
Sheep
stealer.
Stealer. Thank you. Sheep Stealer in his place. And once he was like, Caraxes jumped right on the neck, instantly knew what to do, jumped on the neck and was like, sit down. Like that dragon has experience. I like that.
Yeah.
You know the pets that use the talking buttons? Like Caraxes is kind of like one of those, like a dog that can like he feels like the most like sentient out of all of them.
Mhm.
Like they're having
Yes.
conversations fully because
Yes.
he does
are.
listen.
Right.
Yeah. I love when he calls him and he just comes walking through.
Yes.
Oh,
Little
yeah.
Yeah.
Little steps.
Yeah.
It's a great moment. Another really quick one. Favorite character that's not our main cast, like
Gawain. sorry.
Rhaenyra. Yeah.
You're correct. The
Anyone
sassy
besides
little kid.
Daemon, Rhaenyra, Aegon, Larissa?
Oh, I need to think about this. I don't know. I really liked Helena.
Elena's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Arianna Maple, you have one?
I liked Helena too, and I'm
Yeah.
kind of sad that went the way that it did because I wanted to experience more of like the esoteric magical side, and I felt like she could have been taken too soon. Okay, I know we have a
Yeah.
witch in Harrenhal, but if she's bound to one area, like I wanted somebody kind of free roaming, that was in touch with things. So I did like her too.
Honestly, probably Alice right now. I'm so curious as to how she's gonna get her way, truthfully, because she's doing the most, and they almost had her, and then they dropped the ball. So
And Meeks?
Maester Orwell, because listen, you want to talk about a man coming in clutch for anybody he is associated with, even when it came down to helping Alicent get the abortini, like he snuck that right in there. He snuck that right in there, like, hey, listen, I know that you depended on me before, but the eyes are on me now, so I can't really help you right now. So this is the last time I can help you. I'm so sorry. And then he went to Rhaenyra, was like, hey, listen, I understand that the people in the Sept don't like you and they're doing all this stuff to spite you. You could kill them. It's just an option. I'm just mentioning to you. She was like, huh. He earned his seat at the table. Like he eventually earned his seat at the table. Like, listen, he is just loyal to the position. And I appreciate somebody who knows how to come in and do their damn job. That's all he's doing. He's not picking favorites. He's not picking sides. He's like, my job is to be the maester of this house. So I'm going to be the maester of this house. Whoever is in this house, I'm going to be the maester of. So I just appreciate consistency and honesty.
Yeah, I'll parrot Imon's pick though. Gawain is I think my favorite character of the series, who's not the main cast. Just because he feels like the most normal person who's like
100%.
what's happening? Like guys, like can we just be normal, please? Can
He's
we just
so tired.
like all
He is so tired of everybody.
and his dynamic with Ormond was so funny. It's just a weird odd couple dynamic going on. It's interesting though with his place in the story. Again, I don't know if it's a spoiler for the future or stuff like that, but again, book comparisons. But I do know he was supposed to have died by this point in the story. So I think it's a really great inclusion to keep him around, for a little while. And it's again just a good foil to everyone of going from him being with Sir Criston and with Ormond, and him just being again a foil to the quote unquote, like, secondary villains of the show. And what it means to have that sort of straight man playing against their insanity. I don't want to overlook one of the biggest developments of the show so far, the death of Kristen, and everyone's reaction to that, for better or for worse. Meeks, I'm going to throw it up to you. I guess, how did you feel on the no pun intended execution of that death?
Good. Like, I hated that man more than anything, and that was one of the episodes where people were just writing soliloquies again, because he was just doing this because he didn't want to be a part of anybody's plan, but he was. Ultimately, all this happened because he was just mad that she wouldn't go to Essos and sell oranges with him. And that's very strange, to put your whole life and career in the hands of another person because somebody hurt your feelings really badly. Yeah. And then when it came to Allison was doing the exact same thing Rhaenyra did, but it didn't matter because, she was allowing him to think whatever he wanted to think, because once again, Allison really doesn't care about anybody but herself. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, at this point, y'all, I was sick of him after the oranges statement, because he was lost. And then he went to a ball and killed a person and nobody did anything. And I'm just like, there's so many instances of him being a trick every single time. There's a trick all the way up. And then he had the audacity of Cautacity to sit there and look this man in his face and say, Gwen, we're all going to die eventually. And Gwen was like, not me, not today. Like, what do you mean? Why are you trying to drag me into your I just don't want to be here no more because I'm sad? Like, it made no sense to me how he was hanging everything on his honor when he never really had any. He never really had any. Like, there was no instance of you showing any type of honor. You killed somebody in the freaking council meeting. For what? Yeah. I didn't feel bad. I was like, about time. You should have been died. Mm-hmm. And I was very glad that they put your head right on that spike. Like, take it with you. Absolutely. Get out of here. And the fact that he was like, you 2v1 me, bro, 2v1 me. And of course, a woman being the amazing woman that she was like, I went, okay, now we can leave. Everybody just go. We're done. Get out of here. The one thing you hated in the world was a woman telling you what to do. And that woman got you out of here. It's like, makes you feel good all over. It's like a warm brownie. Yeah. It's wonderful.
It was definitely something in the works that people have been eager for a long time. I guess Maple and Arianna. People had obviously big reactions to it. But I think one of the things I saw people sort of a little split on was that it felt anticlimactic. But I think it's by design. That's obviously what the characters say.
Yeah, intentional.
Yes. All he wanted was honor. He wanted to be like an honorable death. They're going to sing songs about me. Nobody's going to remember you, guy.
Yeah. I guess, how did you two feel about the way that sort of shook out?
It was perfect.
Satisfied. Yeah. I was like, this is the best day ever. Like, I was like, I'm having a great time. Like, this is amazing. I was clapping. Yeah, I think so. Which sounds so bad, but like, I also was like, I mean, I've been personally victimized by Kristen Cole. I had like, because we were talking about having to block a bunch of people. Like, I have been victimized by Kristen Cole. Like, because it's so funny, because if I was sitting there in all my little armor, I'd be like, he's literally telling us he wants to die. Like, this man is telling us he wants to die. I felt like I was like, you guys are under spells. You're in a cult if you're following this man, and he's going to kill you, and he doesn't care. And in fact, he's more than happy. He would love nothing more than for you to also die for this weird ass feeling that he's having in the name of what he is deciding is going to be honorable. And it's like, I don't know why you would die. I don't know why anyone would want to die for that man. And I love that Gwen was like, yeah, no, I'm leaving. I was like, get out of there. Like, I think after the first episode, I was like, what episode does he die?
Yeah.
I asked that immediately. I was like, so what episode does he die?
It's got to be this season.
I was hoping he died faster, but yeah.
No, 100%. Like, the moment he was like, when Gwen was like, I will give you a place to be. You can have a home. Like, is this all you wanted, bro? You just wanted a home? Sorry, it wasn't with the right high tower, I guess, or whatever. But when he's like, I have to do this for my honor, and I will no longer be a pawn, like the high folk, the nobles. And it's like, brother, I don't know where you think you are still in this realm. Like, you don't have any honor. It's been long gone. it's done. You did the same thing with the Queen Mother that you did with Rhaenyra, but that's why you lost it. But she saved you somehow, so now you have this honor that you don't have. You still keep her favor with you at all times. Like, let it go. And now her brother is being like, if you want a home to come home to, you have it. And you're still like, nope, they're gonna sing songs about me. And it's like, and then there's those 3 arrows, and there's none.
Yeah.
And I thought it was perfect. I thought it was everything that he deserved because it was built on a bed of lies that he told himself because his feelings got hurt.
Yeah,
That's all it was.
He's like a weird combination of like, almost like it would be funny if we got to see Christian Cole from the perspective of like the peasants in like the line of succession, right? Because we're just seeing him trying to infiltrate into like the higher society, like the upper echelon of what a kingdom is. And it's like, in my mind, I'm looking at him thinking like, you were never going to be like anything more than a certain thing. And if anything, the top thing you could strive to would still always be a tool or a pawn to the families that are actual royalty. So a lot of the arguments that I felt like were coming up, I'm like, it still just doesn't even make sense because he physically would never himself been born into like the upper echelon of the people that rule this land. So he was just, I felt like he was living outside of himself in a time that didn't exist to these people.
He's a delusional man out there.
It's I mean, it's so funny. I people didn't point this out. I didn't realize until people pointed out midway through the season is that, you know, it's been so long since he's even interacted with Rhaenyra, and he's still so obsessed with her. Like I was honestly waiting for a moment if they did meet again that she would just be like, I don't remember you. I don't remember who you are.
I don't know this man.
It's kind of, as I was going to say, it's kind of an interesting, after season 2, I feel like Kristen Cole kind of embodied almost a fourth wall breaking of like a modern, like dude.
Yes.
Like
you
could see a Kristen Cole like in real life now. I feel like he embodies a lot of what we see in a lot of these men nowadays who just really have a lot of animosity, resentment, and kind of really entitlement, and kind of just take that out on women in general, and really feel like they are kind of entitled or deserving of something bigger and better than themselves, when in reality they haven't demonstrated any of that. So how do you feel about this kind of dismissal of Kristen Cole, Imon?
Yeah, I agree with everybody. I did not like him from the beginning. Like even he didn't have to do anything. I just didn't like him. I literally like before he even did anything, I was like, there's a vibe that's off. But yes, he's a stalker. Like he's that type of guy that is like, no, I'm gonna protect you. I'm a good guy. That's the type of guy that we would have to get like call the police on. Like he's weird. And so I don't know how other people didn't see that. I'm actually surprised to hear you guys say that people in the comments were defending.
Ride or die for him.
Ride or die
for him. It's crazy. Yeah, it makes no sense. We cleaned it out, but it was confusing. Wild.
Yes, I can't. Is it just, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't want to go too deep into it because I have some really deep feelings on Kristen Cole, and I don't like him. So I'll leave it at that. Yep, I'm happy he's gone. It's great.
No, I mean, he is scary. Like if you think about, if he had more power, he would be a horrible force against her if it were anything different. And so it's like, yeah,
absolutely. No, it is an interesting, I kind of feel like maybe it is because he is a good fighter. Like there's no denying that he can fight. And I think even he says it. Maybe that's why fans like him. I don't know. Fans can be weird. Just like a guy who can maybe fight a little bit, but yeah, that's kind of it. So Larissa, what you think about, I don't know if we asked you as far as what you thought of Cole's end.
I also agree with everyone. For me, it was from the moment, like with the oranges, like that comment. Just the audacity of asking that to Rhaenyra while she is gonna inherit the throne. Why do you think she's gonna give that up for you? And after that, I feel like this guy just didn't have a personality. His entire personality was just like being butthurt because Rhaenyra rejected him. So yeah, ever from that moment, I was just waiting for him to die. Every episode, I was hoping for it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I think it was very iconic how it happened in the end, because at first I was confused because I thought he was going to have like a more epic death. I was like, wait, is it done? This is it? There's 3 hours and he's done? And then later I realized, oh yeah, this is like exactly like not the way he would have wanted it. So it's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still love all the build up to it too. Oscar Tully's line. I wish I had it memorized, but it's like an actual sound on TikTok now that people are repeating. But he's like, Kristen Cole, usurper, defiler of justice, come forth and heal your sentence. And it's a pretty funny line. It's actually from the book as well, which is kind of fun. Where he says, I don't have enough bones yet to build my steppe of traitors. Yeah. So it's a cool moment.
Yeah. I think Andres, do you want to use up for the finale and how we sort of shake out for the end of the season?
Yeah. Do you guys have, and I know I'm assuming I'm starting with you, Meeks, and but how do you feel like the show is going to adapt the ending of the Dance of Dragons? Are they going to go pretty far as making it their own thing? Or are they going to stick close to it? How do you feel as far as Ryan Condal is gonna
no book spoilers. No book spoilers.
No book spoilers. But I don't know how I don't know how they're going to do this because now just like for us who have read the books, like where are they going to end? Like where do they consider the end of this? First of all, no clue. Yeah. We have according to where we are right now in the show, I think they're still trying to send people from the north down. They just sent the Grey Wolves first so they can die. And they're still waiting for Cregan, I believe, to bring people down, I think. So I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know where we're going to go. I don't know how they're going to adapt it. I am completely lost. But I'm like, this is the best part. Even knowing what they say happens in the book, I'm still like, what are y'all finna do? I can't even guess. And that's why it's hard for me to talk about the next season, because a lot of people are like, hey, Meeks, what do you think about the next season? What do you think they're going to do? I couldn't tell you. I honestly couldn't tell you what they're going to do because they have the ability to cut out stuff. They have the ability to add stuff in. There are characters that we currently have that are never mentioned in the book outside of a line. So I'm like, we don't know what the hell's going on with Alice. We don't know. Nobody knows. Like that's answer's not even in the book. We don't know. So I'm like, I don't know what y'all got or what George had told y'all to put in. Like, no clue. I couldn't tell you.
As a fellow book reader, I will say the fact that George departed from Ryan Condal in the way that he did and made it so dramatic, and the fact that season 3 demonstrated that this show is definitely now its own thing. I think more than any A Song of Ice and Fire adaptation, like I will say, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is probably the most accurate. But I would say even Game of Thrones is more accurate than season 3 of House of the Dragon. Like Ryan really is doing his own thing. So I will agree that this is kind of up in the air. We don't know what's going to happen. But Arianna and Maple, do you guys have any predictions as far as what you guys think we might see as non-book readers?
I mean, I had initially thought that the brothers might get a little distracted battling out. I could see them both being like far detached enough to where now they're going to kind of fight each other. I thought that fight would become between the two of them, kind of figuring out this personal beef that they have as siblings. So it was interesting to see them kind of meet and I'm alive, like all of that happening. But still, like he's like, fight me, and he's like, I can't, brother. I'm sorry, brother. So that threw me off because I really was like, but there is still an opportunity maybe that could happen. But I don't know. Like, I don't really know who comes out on top of this because it seems like everyone kind of loses a little bit. Like it all seems tragic in full. And I think that having Ulf kind of be like, fuck you, and them too, like that really falls back on her a lot, on Rhaenyra. So I don't know how politically we come back out of that for her. Like she's going to have to pull a rabbit out of a hat to correct a lot of things. So I really don't know.
quite frankly, I'm excited. I don't understand how they're going to wrap it up in just 8 episodes again. But I mean, let's be real. Alicent is on the road. I don't know if she's on the King's Road or what she's doing by herself, but her sons are team backed up. But she did already just try to kill Aemon, so I have no idea. But that and it's that all of this is going to be is trouble in the making in a way that's going to be explosive, or it's going to pit her out in a way that's unexpected. And I think it's going to be messy because none of the peasants were feeling Rhaenyra's speech. And then after she came out, after she killed the Sept that they believe in, and now Aegon's back and has Aemon, and wherever Vhagar comes from, that's a whole mess. I mean, it's only downhill from here for Rhaenyra, and it's just,
I know
it's just going to be. That's my predict with that. And maybe they'll get Darren and meet up with them or not. Like Gwaine, I hope Gwaine gets a happy ending out of all of it because he's the only one with any sense at this point. But I don't know. They teed up so many random storylines too, and it's really hard sometimes to like think like there was like the weird love triangle going on with like Adam and Bela and all them too. And it's like, is that coming in and kind of for what? But you know, I think there's so much going on, but I know Alicent now, I do believe like she got the message with the butterflies. So she's also going to be in a war terror if they all get back together going against Rhaenyra, because I do, as much as it was all about Alicent was all about Alicent, she really did want Helena, whether that even just be so she had somebody to be her constant companion or whatever. She just didn't want to be alone, but that did matter to her. So I do think they're going to take a lot of that very personally. And I think it's going to just, I don't know. I think it's the climax of it all is just going to end up in, you know, a hoe down, throw down. So
yeah, it's going to be another tough season premiere where Alicent comes back and she's like, I thought this was all this one way, and now it's the complete opposite.
100%.
Yeah, and then it's going to be, well, I thought you were going to do this. She's so bad. And I hate to say, but she's so bad at just doing a thing.
100%.
And I do love though that she's constantly like, if there was like a fourth wall camera, like it exists to her and no one else, because she's constantly like
giving us the office stuff. Like,
and I'm like, where is she looking? Like,
I feel like the biggest example of that is the kiss scene with Aemon. I think she literally broke the fourth wall. When she looked at the camera, like, did that just happen? Yeah, that was pretty wild. So, Imon, do you have any predictions as far as what we could see in the final season of The House of the Dragon?
I mean, it's definitely going to be bloody. It's going to be. There's a lot of fire and
a lot of blood
and fire. Like, yeah, I don't know if anyone gets a happy ending, and I think that's all I wanted for Rhaenyra. So, and now I'm like, I don't know if that's going to happen. And yeah, I'm worried for Alicent, but I'm also curious if her and Rhaenyra just team up. Like, they were a team in the beginning. They were friends, maybe, and they just are like, all right, it's us against your kids. Like, because they're going to want to kill Alicent. I would assume Aemon is going to want to kill his mom. So I don't know. I also think, if I'm not mistaken, Viserys told Rhaenyra that that promise of like the realm coming together,
the Song of Ice and Fire.
Yes, like that was a secret. It's and she was supposed to keep it a secret. Like it's only to be passed down through the heirs, like a king and then the heir. So what does that mean? And because I feel like everyone's like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Like, no one has context at all.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if people like, well, what will that do since the secret is out now?
Yeah, like does that matter to them? Like I really saw that scene as like her another step, like another step of her losing her way, where
it's gibberish.
It's gibberish.
Like that's meant to be something that the Targaryen is supposed to have, like very special to them, as like a lineage thing, and she just is weaponizing it or utilizing it for like votes, essentially, you know.
But I don't think it's going to work because nobody understands. It's like going to a church and seeing somebody speak in tongues. You're like, wow, that's a thing. Like, ooh, that happened.
Create some superstition around it though, almost, where it's like, could she be like spiritually reprimanded? Because it is kind of symbolic to have her come out of the sept and then spill this like historical secret that's meant to be kept between the heirs. I didn't think of it that way, but it's like, could she almost be punished in retrospect, or have some, but I'm also superstitious just naturally, but it would be interesting to imply some superstition on that, almost like with the way that she presented that information to the rest of these people who were never supposed to hear that and wouldn't know.
Yeah. Even if that's a really good point. Even if she keeps mentioning old Valyria and the blood of old Valyria, the doom, which is the mysterious ending of Valyria. And you're right, it could be almost in a karma kind of way, not even in a religious kind of way, but even just bad karma, as far as losing a lot of dragons in this war could cost the Targaryens a longer dynasty or whatever. So very interesting. And I think Ryan Condal also mentioned that the people didn't understand what she was saying anyway. So
I mean, literally at the end, she says, "I'm the prince who was promised in High Valyrian." They're like, "We don't speak that language. We don't know." What
yeah.
So, Larissa. Sorry.
Oh no, I just remember being like, like the scene pans out, and I was like, "They have no idea what you're saying." Like,
Larissa, do you have any predictions as far as what we could see in the final season?
I think it's very obvious what they're setting up for Rhaenyra, that it's just downhill from here. I'm honestly mostly scared about having to see the dragons die because that just hurts me. I don't really know how that's gonna happen, but we know it's going to happen. But I'm not looking forward to that. And I feel like I think Aemon and Aegon, they're gonna find Vhagar, I think. And maybe they're eventually gonna have the advantage with the amount of dragons. Also, I have no idea what Ulf's gonna do, if he's even gonna join a side after this, or if he's just like, fuck you all. But I think they're gonna have the advantage eventually.
Ulf is just team white.
Yeah.
I also think they're setting up Hugh as well for something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, same.
Someone another person on Twitter, they were like, it's funny, Daemon does not know Hugh's wife, or that he even has a wife, so for all he knows, he was just looking for his cat. He's running around screaming cat.
because he really just comes on the screen and he's like, ah, and then he just runs away, like, and he's just like, okay, well,
like, what is he doing here?
I wonder too. Okay, I something came to me as we were all talking, but I wonder if with Daemon, because we were all kind of discussing how he can be very captivating and his character is presented that way. I wonder if it'll turn into kind of a tragic lover situation with your uncle, like what happens, because I'm trying to think of what ultimately is Rhaenyra leading to. Like, do we see like her demise maybe by the next season, or who like allows the bloodline to like go on because so many of the kids have died? Like, who really is kind of the stepping stone in all of this, and who really takes the throne? Like, I don't know that because I haven't read any of the books, but and I guess if they're going like off the cuff, it's like, do they end up having, like, does Daemon ultimately end up coming back around, because he was having so much beef with his brother, like at the beginning of like who's doing what and what's right for, just in terms of leading.
Do you mean Daemon, or do you mean one of the other Targaryen? Do you mean Aegon or Aemon?
No, Daemon.
Okay.
Her uncle, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Her uncle husband.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, is he kind of scooting under the radar and they're actually going to do something with him because of how like charismatic he's been?
Maybe,
I don't know. I'm just throwing something out there.
I'm so
not
sorry.
I'm
sorry.
No.
I love tinfoil.
I'm picking up what you're saying now. I was just because they weren't connected in my brain.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, I'm like, wait, are we like, am I like focusing on characters thinking like, oh, like this could happen because there's so much drama happening over here that like, is he somehow gonna have this like realization of of her, or like what's been going on around him, and that there's been too much loss, and he kind of has been in the midst of it, but not necessarily because he is so loyal. It's like, does loyalty crack when things are taken too far?
One of the big sticking points with the Game of Thrones finale was like a lot of people were not happy with Jon Snow killing Dany. So I don't. Those would be very similar. I don't know if the fans could take another guy killing the main character.
Going to somebody's house. I'm going to somebody's house. I'm knocking on the door. It's like, listen, this is unacceptable.
Riots in the street. Everything burns down.
Okay, you know what? Then I'll just retract. I rebuke those words.
I love how both of you guys were talking. It was like, what, Daemon the uncle? No, Daemon the husband. What are you talking about?
You're both right.
It's like the same thing.
Yeah.
The uncle lover.
Uncle lover.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
The uncle lover, brother, husband, dad.
Again, I keep bringing up memes, but there's one of my favorite memes from the show, like ever, is like a picture of Jace and being like, you, the girl you like, Bela, and it's like her cousin, her husband, her uncle, her cousin, second cousin, her nephew, and it's like all the same people. It's like him like 5 times on that diagram.
Yeah. It's also there with Alan and Adam too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, what's going on here? It's pretty funny,
messy.
but
yeah,
it definitely gets there for sure. Yeah, really quick, Larissa, I'm with you, by the way. I just had to say it just because as a fellow dragon lover, I love all the humans, but dragon deaths are going to be the one that really kind of break my heart the most. So yeah, like this season, Vermax, I'm still not over Vermax, to be honest. So
yeah. I mean, to answer one of your questions earlier on, just one of my favorite dragons is Sheep Sailor, just because of his crazy underbite. I have a little dog that has a similar underbite. So like I was like, oh no. So when they were like jumping him, I was like, stop, please stop.
I hated that scene. I literally had to fast forward that scene. I couldn't handle it. The CGI dragons just touched my heart.
Yeah.
So yeah. Should we do outros?
Yes.
Eric?
Yeah. Sure. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. It was really great to chat with you. Again, it's, I think, really special and important to be able to talk about this and debrief after the season, again, because we're going to have to wait another couple of years for the final season. And once we're have that, I'll definitely have you all back on to talk about how all these things shook out. Maple, if you're correct, we owe you an apology that Daemon kills.
I'm telling you, that's crazy because almost all of us earlier went to bat for how honorable he's been. So for that,
well, it just kind of clicked. I was like, wait a minute, there's somebody here that we're not talking about anymore. That's the most like charismatic of the bunch.
Yeah, so we'll see how that shakes out in another couple of years. Again, thank you everyone for being here today. If you're watching this, please follow everyone here, support their channels, watch their videos, leave nice comments in their videos, like and subscribe. You can find me at Neurochronic across social media. You can find us at the Reactorverse across social media as well. We'll have links to our social medias and Discord, Patreon down below. I'll catch everyone on the next episode.